We told you if you sit by silently while they come for immigrants, they'll come for us next. We told you that if they come for illegal immigrants, they're going to come for legal ones. They did that. We told you if they come for criminals, they're going to come for everybody else. They did that. Arresting kids and parents at school graduations, invading workplaces, and now this. This is Senator Alex Padilla, a sitting United States senator who came to a press conference where you ask people questions so that he could ask a question to Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Instead of being allowed to ask a question and perform his oversight duties as a sitting U.S. senator, he was wrestled out of the room to the ground and then forcibly handcuffed. So if you didn't believe us before, do you believe us now? Because if they can do it to a sitting United States senator, by fucking God, they are going to do it to us next.
ICE in LA wants to say that the protests are violent, but I have video evidence, and now everybody else does, of them committing attempted murder on a civilian. Here's all the evidence I have of them being violent, with receipts. By the way, a horse kick could immediately unalive you. And this person gets hit 3 times, run over by horses 3 times. That's attempted murder. This next one, a woman is just trying to get a bucket out of the street so cars can drive by, and they shoot her anyway. This woman's hands are up. And last but not least, here's a wonderful video of LAPD destroying their own cop car on purpose. Wow, these don't look like protesters. Huh. Wonder why the cops would be beating their own vehicles. Maybe to frame people? And of course, we all saw that Australian reporter get targeted by ICE and get shot just for doing a press thing in the middle of the road. Which, what the helly? Share this video far and wide.
I am so glad Donald Trump is in office for a second term. Let me tell you, I just missed all the protests, all the rioting, all the civil unrest. That was so fun, right? The first time around. So welcome to have it back, because under Sleepy Joe, we just weren't getting that. We weren't having the riots and the protests and the violence and the chaos and the division. We actually had a functioning democracy that passed more legislation than anybody since FDR. But no, this is what we were after. The high drama, the riot gear, the National Guard in the streets. This is what you all wanted back in your lives? Oh, but you say, yeah, but I wanted cheaper eggs and I wanted cheaper gas. Well, you didn't get that. Eggs are still really expensive. Gas is still really expensive. Turns out Donald Trump doesn't really control the price of your eggs or your gas. Okay? So now what do you have? You have chaos, you have turmoil, you have division, you have National Guards on the street, and you're still paying through the nose for your eggs and for your groceries. Way to go. And not only that, you might get the big beautiful bill, which is going to give the ultra super rich a massive tax cut. And oh, by the way, Donald Trump has tripled his own personal wealth through his phony meme stocks and bitcoins. You wanted a huckster. You wanted a fraudster, a con man back in your lives. I mean, is this like you want your toxic ex back in your life? It makes no sense.
Greetings, family. I hope you're well. And so in today's topic, we are seeing many white people that stood up with Donald Trump during 2024 general elections are now voicing deep regret, citing what they call a blatant disregard of the Constitution, rising authoritarian tendencies, and a disturbing pattern of lawlessness. And many are calling for his impeachment. This is a reckoning and a shift moment where truth is beginning to outweigh tribal loyalty. Let's get to see the whole reaction. Then we come with a complete analysis of this story.
Well, there it is. 500 Marines are going to LA. This fucking dictatorship is literally deploying Marines on U.S. citizens. Fuck this shit. Fuck this dictator we have in charge. A literal full battalion. It's up to 700 apparently, a full battalion of Marines. And I have a friend that's literally out there protesting. Signs, chants, there was a band playing. They're just marching the streets. There is zero need for this.
The Trump administration is now detaining legal residents who have lived here for half of a century. I'm not going to stop talking about these people, because if we do, they disappear forever, and you shouldn't believe anyone who says that fighting back on immigration is bad politics. So let me give you a quick rundown of some of the most alarming stories from just the last couple of weeks. Llewellyn Dixon is a 64-year-old woman who works as a lab tech at the University of Washington. She's been a permanent legal resident of the United States for 50 years. But when she returned from visiting family in the Philippines, ICE arrested her at the airport and held her in detention for 3 months. Marcelo Gomez de Silva, an 18-year-old high school student in Massachusetts, was on his way to volleyball practice when ICE pulled him over. Marcelo was brought to the United States as a child in 2012 and was given a student visa. He has no criminal record, but when ICE pulled him over looking for his father, he was arrested and detained. He was supposed to play in the band at graduation, but he's sitting in ICE detention. Also in Massachusetts, Samaron Faria de Souza, the father of a 4-month-old baby, was pulled over on his way to work when he honked at an undercover car full of ICE agents. They arrested him, detained him, and signed a deportation order in his name without his consent, and he's now been deported to Brazil. And in Mississippi, a 31-year-old Danish man named Casper Eriksson, who's lived in the US for 10 years on a green card, went to a routine appointment to finalize his US citizenship. But after they discovered that he failed to file a single document more than 10 years ago, while he was still mourning the loss of his first child, he was detained by ICE. The Trump administration isn't deporting criminals or gang members. They're deporting students, neighbors, fathers, people who have lived here for longer than fascist Stephen Miller has been alive. We have to keep these stories in the spotlight, because if we don't, they'll continue using the cover of darkness to disappear people and take more of our rights. So share this video and follow me to keep fighting back.
Guys, we've got some breaking news. ICE just crossed a serious line in Downey, California. They are officially raiding churches. Yeah, you heard that right. Churches. As of right now, we know at least 2 churches were targeted. Our Lady of Perpetual Help and Downey Memorial Christian Church. One elderly man was arrested while dropping his granddaughter off at school. The pastor at Downey Memorial says ICE agents refused to identify themselves and even denied leaving the church property when asked. Videos have come out showing that ICE agents were shoving pastors and pointing rifles at them. This is a direct attack on safe spaces and community trust. As you know, local groups and leaders are condemning these raids, and protesters are rising up all across Southern California and across the country. LA Mayor Karen Bass and other mayors have demanded the immediate end to these ICE actions. This isn't about immigration enforcement. It's about violating sacred spaces and terrorizing families, making sure that nowhere you go, you feel safe. Stay informed, stay alert, and get the story out there.
We are all immigrants. Yesterday it was my people, today it is your people, but actually we are all people. We are all Americans, telling a story of how either our ancestors or ourselves came to this country. And that fabric of bringing different cultures, ideas, thoughts, and beliefs together is what makes America great. Whether it was in 1607 or in 2025, whether your ancestors were forced to come here or whether they came here seeking a better life, whether they came here with documentation or without documentation, we all came together to form this country. People should be judged on the content of their character and their actions, not the color of their skin and where they were born. Just because people won the lottery by being born in the United States of America doesn't make us better than anyone else, doesn't make us more worthy than anyone else, and doesn't give us the right to shut the door in the faces of other people seeking the same opportunities that our ancestors did. I see who ICE is persecuting, and I see people just like us seeking a better life. And plus, how can you be illegal on stolen land?
Trump just deployed the U.S. military against its own citizens. In a completely illegal and unconstitutional move, Trump has ordered at least 500 troops from 27 Palms, California, to be deployed, Marines, to be deployed to Los Angeles because of the protests. The state of California has already filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for sending National Guard in against the governor's wishes, and now they are literally deploying the U.S. military. And unless martial law was declared, which I must have missed, This is completely illegal and against the Constitution. How is nobody standing up? How is the Republican Party just watching this happen? You guys scream about a tyrannical government all the time, and then one comes and you cheer it along. This is escalating very quickly. And this was what he was waiting for. This was his plan all along, and we all knew it. We called it out in November. But you know what? Nothing ever changed with hugs and kisses. So keep fighting, LA.
Things are getting really fucked up, you guys. Trump and the Trump administration just announced that they are occupying Los Angeles for the next 30 days. That ICE and the National Guard are going to be occupying Los Angeles for 30 fucking days. State rights my ass. The Trump administration has also threatened Governor Gavin Newsom with arrest if he interferes with ICE activities, as well as Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. All of these are impeachable offenses, if you're wondering. And here's what's going to happen next. Newsom is either going to do the right thing and interfere and get arrested and become a political prisoner of his own country, or we are going to have a 30-day reign of terror in the city of Los Angeles. And I need you guys to understand, like, the photos that are coming out online are really bad, but these protests are tiny. Like, they are sending in thousands of National Guard troops and thousands of more ICE officials and police, like riot police, over tiny protests, like random, like popcorn protests around the city. This is not like a massive thing. Like, people are not out on the streets. This is an attempt to overthrow the governor of California, overthrow the government of California. This is war on California.
So Trump has said, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Yes, Frumpy McDumper Pants has said that if anybody crashes his Mao Zedong style birthday parade, they will be met with extreme force. Like anybody wants to attend your birthday party, wannabe dictator. Yeah, so he's throwing himself a little fit over all the protests in general, especially since the King's Day protests are on that day, and there are none scheduled anywhere near where his little toy soldier parade's gonna be. But he's still throwing a fit ahead of time, just to make sure that he lets everybody know that not only is he calling in military in certain places to put down the civilians of the United States, but if you come to his birthday party as a party crasher, he's gonna get you.
Donald Trump just deployed 700 Marines to LA. It's not hyperbole. I mean, we've been saying that, I've been saying that for months now. This is the end of the republic that is America.
Hey everyone. What Senator Padilla did, more of that. More of that. Every single Democratic senator who has the ability physically to go ahead and do that, go do that. Absolutely, without question, we want to see more of that. To the Democrats who are older and don't have the physical capability of being thrown on the ground by the Secret Service or police or whomever, draw up articles of impeachment. I know it's not going to go anywhere, but do it anyway. Do it anyway. The entire Trump administration, his appointees, all of them are in violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. People's right to free speech. Peaceful free speech. Message for Governor Gavin Newsom. Your LAPD, I know you support them, as any governor should, but your LAPD right now are starting to shoot rubber bullets at innocent bystanders, at innocent protesters. There's plenty of video going around of them. You need to come out and say, while I support the LAPD, any aggression towards peaceful protesters will be met with swift discipline. People, this is serious. It's not like we haven't seen this kind of thing in the United States before. It's happened many, many times. But that doesn't take away from the severity of what's happening.
As more voices, white and black, rise to challenge the Trump regime, it becomes clear that the fight for democracy is not a partisan issue, but a human one. The regret now expressed by many of Trump's former supporters isn't just about a vote. They are coming to terms with the role they played in enabling a political figure who, in their own words, trampled the very values America claims to uphold. But regret alone isn't enough. What matters now is action, awareness. We must lead to accountability. The question we must all ask ourselves, regardless of race or political leaning, is this: how much longer can we afford to normalize dictatorship, the disguise of democracy? I love the fact that America is waking up to a reality that many tried to ignore. That leadership without accountability is a threat to freedom itself. History has a way of exposing the truth. And right now, it's exposing the cost of blind loyalty. The time for regret is over. The time for resistance, accountability, and real change is now. Speak louder, vote smarter, because change doesn't start at the top. It starts with the people. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you found value in what we shared, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss any update from my videos.